name is Grace, and I will share my poem called If I Were in Charge of the World. If I were in charge of the world, I would eliminate every single kind of alcohol because people can get drunk. I would also eliminate all drugs because people could die from them. I would also eliminate all robbers because they are mean. If I were in charge of the world, I would want a house out of chocolate because I'm cuckoo for chocolate. I would have 1,000 chocolate fountains because I love chocolate. I would make people who do animal fighting and animal abuse and child abuse to stop because it is me. If I were in charge of the world, I would eliminate mites because they have diseases. I would eliminate violence like wars and shooting. I would want hot chocolate to be Jello you could drink because I like hot chocolate and Jello. I would want it to snow ice cream instead of snow because I love ice cream. I would want bus helpers to do their job all year round because bus helpers might like having their kids, like a brother or sister, not kids. If I were in charge of the world, I would let people know I am funny, playful, nice, crafty, and artistic, and I would still be allowed to be in charge of the world.
Hi, my name is Kelsey, and I will be sharing my If I Were in Charge of the World poem with you. If I were in charge of the world, I would get rid of every violent thing that is on earth and every drug except medicine that can help you when you're sick. I would make Jillian and Mackenzie be my sisters, so then I would have nobody to fight with. I would earn enough money to buy a bowling alley to put in my house so I wouldn't get bored at all. If I were in charge of the world, I would not make the Ravens a football team. I would make my own mall with a petting zoo and amusement park, and I would not have to pay for anything. I would take away night lights from the world because I hate light. I would delete baked beans because I think they are gross. If I were in charge of the world, there would be no night time. There would be no lonely, and you would never be alone. There would be no school or not even colleges. My sister would go on a long vacation to Alaska where she would be all cold and I could play with Jillian and Mackenzie peacefully. I would make swim meets every single day. I would delete robbers. I would make a home for a penguin in my backyard. I would also give homeless people a nice and comfy home to live in. If I were in charge of the world, I would let everyone know that I was kind, sharing, and I share as much as I can. I try to find new friends as often as I can. I let everyone have turns for the basketball net, school playgrounds, jump ropes, and tons of other stuff. And I am someone who makes a lot of mistakes, but would still be allowed to be in charge of the world.
If I were in charge of the world, I would eliminate Barbie dolls for good. I would deplete the flu and never have it again. I would burn all homework invented. I would deplete taxes, bills, drugs, and robbers. I would eliminate illegal animal fighting. I would deplete bad-smelling garbage. If I were in charge of the world, I would have my own dog. I would have my own iPhone. I would have my very own iPad. I would have my own laptop. If I were in charge of the world, I would make cars run on air. I would send my brother to Mars for 909,000 years. I would eliminate the fact of people dying. If I were in charge of the world, I would want people to know that I am nice. I would be kind, caring, sharing, and respecting, and would still be allowed to be in charge of the world. By Morgan.
If I were in charge of the world, I would have my sister go on a 9,000-day cruise, and my brother go far away to China. And I would have the biggest car in the world. If I were in charge of the world, I would get rid of cold showers, German candy bars, and old action figures, because I do not like the old kinds of action figures. If I were in charge of the world, I would have all the Call of Duty games. I would have a time portal, and I would have a flying car, a pet tiger, and a lion. If I were in charge of the world, I would let every person know that I am nice. I would let every person know that I am respectful, and And even if I forgot to flush or forgot to shower, I would still be allowed to be charging the world.